podcast. We are back. We got Ende, we got the Last of Spray, and now we got LegitPlayz as a guest. Let's go. All big Last of Us fans, all doing a little bit of speculation tonight on what is the path forward. We're seeing Sony say that it wasn't actually a Naughty Dog employee, but everyone online's making videos saying, we don't believe you. I don't think I believe them either. I think they're trying to say, hey, nothing got breached here. You have nothing to worry about. That's what I think is going on. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, they don't want to look bad, so they're trying to shift the blame, like Ende said. You think so? Why? Right. Oh yeah. 1 second, guys. With this. I appreciate that everyone hopping in the stream right now. We're basically just talking about how Naughty Dog and Sony were saying that it was someone outside of the org that was doing the leaking and not actually an employee. And Plays was saying that. What were you saying?
I was saying I think it's Sony, innit? I think it's Sony that were at fault for.
This leak was so catastrophic. I don't know if you were around back in the day, but I've been Sony all the way. So I was back in the day on PS3, and Sony's whole entire system got hacked. Remember that?
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
And we were out of online capability for like a month and a half.
Oh, it was that long?
Yeah. Like, we were sitting here doing nothing, twiddling our thumbs for a month and a half because Sony couldn't get their crap together. That's what I'm thinking is probably happening again here. They're scrambling. It's like there's a fire and they're trying to put it out.
It's basically Sony wouldn't let Naughty Dog release the game because if they had released it now, they wouldn't make money. They would not, like, in terms of store sales because obviously of the lockdown.
No, you can't make the physical copies.
Yeah. Yeah. So they tried to they were trying to hold it off.
I heard they were trying to hold it off, and this just came out today from some website like Kotaku, like a gaming website. They were saying Sony was trying to hold it off to the holiday season 2020 so they could get the sales on the PS4, sales on the same customer again on the PS5. Think about it. Selling your game twice to the same consumer. It's brilliant. That's what they were trying to do. And they're saying that it wasn't a Naughty Dog leak. It wasn't a Sony leak. It was someone outside, third party. But I don't think I believe them. Now that their hand is forced, that they have to put this game out. Think about it. The second release date was May 19th, right? Or May 29th. May 29th. It's only 3 weeks that the game got delayed. There's no way this was planned for. What do you mean by gold? Oh, okay. I was watching the PlayStation podcast. Well, I wasn't watching. I was listening to it. And they had Neil Druckmann on right when all this happened, and we got delayed to the release date got delayed indefinitely at first. And he said, hey guys, look, there's nothing really to worry about. We're just trying to polish it, and what really is the problem is we're just trying to, debug the game a little bit, make sure everything's copacetic. That's what he said on the podcast. And then now resume to where we are right now, jump forward. and we have a big problem where I guess these people that were trying to smooth out the bugs, it's someone leaked it, because who else could have had a copy? And Day pointed this out. He said that in the screenshots in some of the leaks, you can see the developer code in the side. Isn't that what you said?
I actually haven't seen it. What does it say?
I think he deleted that because I haven't seen anything for a few days, and you know he's been frequently posting stuff, deleting it or editing it. I know I've heard he's been doing it on Instagram. I know he's done it on Twitter with that Kurt Cobain tweet.
Yeah, but I feel like they're already gonna say that because they're not gonna want you to look at spoilers or trust them at all, because that gives you more of an incentive to buy the game, and then they'll make money.
Yeah, they're not on the same page.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
thing
mean,
is, well, when they say don't believe the spoilers, then I don't feel like they would really say don't watch the spoilers. They wouldn't really like make that a big point. But they seem to be making that a massive point. Like, don't watch the spoilers. Do not watch them, but don't trust them either. It's like,
yeah, because if I was to play devil's advocate real quick, on Naughty Dog's Twitter, they said, you know, try to avoid spoilers at all costs. That's pretty much what they said in their, you know, official press release statement. So, you know, just one-off developers saying, you know, don't trust it all. What is that supposed to mean? They pretty much admitted guilt that they got blood on their hands. It's not like they said, oh, we understand that there has been some controversy over possible leaks on The Last of Us. This is false. This is not real. They didn't say that.
and the thing is, if they had said that, people wouldn't be desensitized. Like, they would still buy the game. Like,
Right.
some people, because Naughty Dog have kind of made
That
it
type
obvious
of that type of statement would have put out a fire.
yeah,
Where instead, that the statement that they ended up putting out was more like throwing wood on a fire.
yeah, they were just like, oh,
Right.
people are just like, oh, this is a bit dead now.
And it's being totally destroyed. I know I've talked about this in the last podcast, but it's the trend to bash on the game right now.
Yeah.
They should have just put it right back to May 29th, man.
Yeah, but the leak I saw, I know that this game isn't gonna be as good as Last of Us 1, and by a long shot.
Oh, no doubt. I think visually it'll be impressive
Visually, yeah,
because
visually
it's on the next generation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The thing is, even with like Dean and Jesse and stuff, I don't feel like we'll actually see how they actually become friends and partners and stuff. I feel like they'll just be friends in the game. But not really. I don't really feel like that.
That's the same
I
thing
feel
I
like
was saying. I think Dean is going to be here one moment, gone the next. She's
yeah. I feel like we'll have one where a couple of years later, after The Last of Us 1, and then that's gonna be like a flashback kind of scene, and then
right.
it'll kind of be like that. I feel like that.
Right. I feel like kind of what Plays is saying, where you start off in one point in time, you experience that, and you flash forward a little bit. You flash forward a little bit to show the years that were skipped over.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely going to see that develop, but you know, there's going to be some lost years, in my opinion. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of
There's going to
shit.
be some like mundane times in Jackson that we're just not going to see.
Like, for example, in The Last of Us 1, in the beginning where it's Joel's birthday, you already see how close Sarah and Joel are because of she gifts him the watch, and you see the card if you go upstairs and stuff. If they hadn't have put that in, it wouldn't have been her death wouldn't have been as effective, in my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
Yeah, I feel it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been as
Well,
effective. Because it wouldn't have felt like as like it wouldn't have felt as close. I just can't explain what I'm saying, but
there
like
was a lot of character development right there in those first 5 to 10 minutes. I
yeah,
know exactly what he's getting at. You know, if you would have just seen Joel get waken up out of his sleep by that phone call that Sarah received from Tommy, like Joel got that call instead of his baby girl, like you wouldn't feel as bad. Like I see what he's saying right there. It definitely gave it a different like aspect or like view, right?
yeah. But it still wouldn't have been as effective, in my opinion.
Right. Yes. Yes, for sure.
I don't think we'll get enough.
I'm with him on it. I am. I don't think there's going to be that level of emotional attachment. Because I mean, sure, it's going to be Ellie in her first like romantic relationship, not the first, because of Left Behind, but her second one like in her adult life. But yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. I don't know if Plays heard about it, but I'm thinking Joel might be like a side character in this game. He's not the protagonist. Like Ellie's, I think we're gonna play as Joel, but Ellie's definitely the lead, my friend. Like, yeah, but
Yeah,
But you know,
they've said.
right? I did. I still think that remains. Yeah, plays. Basically, to wrap up yesterday's discussion, I was telling Hank that I thought that, you know, Last of Us Part 1, even though a majority of the time you're playing as Joel, that it's really telling Ellie's story of being smuggled, and of course Joel is just a smuggler. What do you think about that?
I think it's both. I think it's both stories, man. It shows how Joel goes from being kind of like a more of a careless person, not having anything to really fight for, and then having finally something to live for. You know, I feel like that yeah, exactly.
Hey, I have someone in the stream saying they can only hear 2 of us. Let me try this out. Let's see. I wonder who we can't hear. Hank, can you say something? I'm just checking out. No, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, plays. I can hear you. I just can't hear Ende. Thank you for the person in the chat who said that. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the person in the chat who said that. I really appreciate that. You had your settings off? That's a real big dud, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. And I just said something to Plays about. I just said something had Plays go back and fix his, but
gosh,
we switched
dang,
parties,
man.
so we switched parties, so that's your fault. Let's go. Let's roll back into it. We're live. We're back.
Well,
so what we were talking about was the character building between Joel and Ellie, and where was we at again?
At least we were only 15 minutes in, okay? It could have been worse. We could have been sitting at 50 minutes in and be like, wow, he wasn't talking the whole time.
Exactly.
Yo, I think we need a...
We get it worked out.
You know, on the Joe Rogan's podcast, you got Jamie? Yeah, we just need a Jamie to blame.
Right.
Come on, search that up.
I'll take the blame on that, but at the same time, we did switch. I did join your new party. So, hey.
Your settings stay the same. It doesn't matter what party you're in, fool.
on my other account. This was the
all right.
One,
so what we were saying, appreciate the chat and live feed that said something. Please, that was awesome. But getting back to what we were saying, I was saying that I thought that Last of Us Part 1 was more of Ellie's story and not Joel's story. But Plays was playing devil's advocate on it, and he was saying it's more of both. And I mean, I can see it's both of them, especially because what we were talking about with Sarah. But I don't know. I just felt like the whole story, we you know, when you break it down, bare bones, you see we are transporting this girl to Firefly Hospital to be like the cure for mankind. And when you put it in those terms, it's like you see it as clear as day.
Well, I guess it could go either way. I mean, I always felt it was Joel's story, and then you brought your point on the other day about we were on her mission.
Right. Yeah, it's her mission.
Right. But it could be her mission told through the eyes of Joel.
Right.
But, you know, you brought up a good point with that.
I know you can't dispute
what
it.
I was hoping for, and I don't want to say too much because I know that you haven't seen a lot, but what I was hoping for was what they said, a continuation of The Last of Us 1. That made me lead to believe that we would get to see Joel and Ellie on another journey. You know, what that journey would have been, I don't know. But that's what I was hoping to see.
What I'm hoping to see is Tommy and Joel's backstory. What do you think about that, Plays?
I want to see that.
You know all the dialogue.
Yeah, I want to see what happened, what the nightmares were.
Yeah, I had nightmares of them years. You're alive because of me.
And then when those bandits start shooting, he's like, you still know how to kill, right, or whatever.
Yeah, that's some good foreshadowing right there, man.
And you can definitely see the role Joel probably was beforehand is when he meets Robert. He knows just what to do to Robert to get him to talk, to get submissive. He snaps his arm, and then let's fast forward to the interrogation scene.
Oof.
Oh yeah,
Joel knew what to do. He knew how to get what he wanted out of them guys.
Right, man.
He did
not hesitate. That's important.
He pre-planned it because
he pre-planned it.
Because the way he went to the second guy and said, "Oh, I believe him," and then just hit him in the head. He had planned that. He had planned.
So
he already knew he got what he wanted, and there was no need to keep both of them around. And also, we can take this back a little bit. Is when after you get past the ambush part, and Joel and Ellie are making their way through Pittsburgh. She says, "How did you know that was an ambush?" And he says, "I've been on both sides of it." Right. And Bill makes a suggestion to Joel about he says it's the clickers that he says. I'm okay with the clickers. It's the people I fear. You should know something about that, right, Joel? So Joel definitely has a past.
Right.
Joel was more than a smuggler.
This is a little bit out there. It's so funny you just said that, man. Because what if smuggler doesn't justify what Joel is? What if he's like some type of contract killer, dude?
Joel's a survivor. Joel does whatever's necessary to survive.
Let Plays talk, man. God damn. Jesus.
Joel actually used to kill and be a hunter because he had to, or because of hatred?
That's so question. Hard. I could see it like going both ways too.
I could too.
Because after
question.
Losing Sarah, bro, he could be cold-blooded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. That's a good point.
Wow.
Probably both for Joel. But that's a story we'd want to see in the DLC.
That's more what I want to see. I want to see what happened right after that. Did Joel go into a spiral and become like a bloodthirsty killer? And did he just like take surviving to the next level with Tommy? And then when he meets up with Tess, does he have some type of relationship with her? Which we know they did. So that's the game I wanted to see, man.
Dude, I would love to play Tommy in Joel DLC. That would be badass. And you can see the way they touched on the pain with him holding his daughter. After that scene, Joel had moments where he was bloodthirsty.
At Jackson, he didn't even want to look at a picture of his daughter, bro. Oh my God.
No, he did not even want to look. And for it to be part of the military group to take his daughter and shoot at him, and he went after them in some form or way.
Yes, that is right. He probably is plotting revenge. Oh yeah, for sure.
So that was definitely a good point you brought up, Plays. I mean that makes me hyped just thinking about a DLC or a full game with Joel and Tommy, man. That would be insane.
Do you think they'll have a DLC in The Last of Us 2?
Yes.
It seems like I heard him touch on that before, the Neil Druckmann. I feel like I've heard him touch on that before.
We talked about this last night where the Uncharted series had like their Uncharted Lost Legacy with the secondary cast.
Oh, Chloe and stuff.
Yeah, Chloe. Do you think it'd be possible for something like that with the Last of Us universe?
Well, players like Tess or something.
Yes, dude. Tess and Joel? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that would be. I want to do that.
God.
I would play that game. I would play that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were talking about how Tess was cut way
Tess was a
too
badass,
soon, man. Tess was
Tess
like,
was a badass.
she was the Chloe of The Last of Us, dude. Just like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
You know, I could easily see Tess in Joel's role. Tess taking, and you know, I think some of the old writing was Tess going hunting down Joel. Is what I've seen. Before.
Really?
Yeah. And
Well, that's how they got put together, huh?
I think there was something said where Tess kills Joel in front of Ellie, or something like that. Does that sound familiar to you, Plays? Have you heard that?
Some type of mock-up.
Right. That was just some pre-writing, maybe some ideas they had going on with it. Because I know I heard him say that Tess could have easily been in Joel's. It could have easily been Joel in The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Right. They played the same part.
The way she kills Robert, she's just as like cold-blooded.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she just lets it go, and you know she's fearless, man. When she realized that she was bit, you know, she told him just, you know, Joel was the kind of being the compassionate one, and he had that look on his face where he's like, we can find a way, and she's like, just leave, just go, make this easy on me. And then she turns around with that look on her face, man, and she's just ready to go, and she takes out a couple of them fireflies, a couple of the military.
Yeah, she took out 3 or 2 of them.
Right.
With a pistol, that's what they said, remember?
Yep.
Wow.
So, that was definitely a good point, man. That made for some fun conversation.
That's definitely what I want to see, man. And instead, I'm hearing rumors about all this wokeness that we're going to have the stomach to play our game.
Yeah, you know, I don't even care about that. You know, that's I'm not even thinking about that, man. I got to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are fired up and mad about all that, but as of right now, I don't even care about that.
You might not
play this game.
You might not have a choice, bro. I heard it's totally taken over the plot. Of course, I haven't seen any of the spoilers, but I don't think all the people on YouTube that are making videos about it are wrong, right?
You know, I think, you know, this may sound crazy, but I think that, you know, I just don't want to say, I don't even know if I want to get into this because it may say too much, but
yeah,
a lot of it is how they feel about Joel and Ellie, and they could be turning that into over here on this side to using that as fire to throw at Neil and them, because you're not even really hearing much about, you know, a lot of people are upset about, you know, the plot with Joel and Ellie, so they could be using that woke as fire to throw at them. You know, a lot of people are just jumping on this just because it's the cool thing to do right now.
Right.
Everybody's mad at Naughty Dog, so I'll be mad too.
Okay. So plays this plays right in, no pun intended, to what Hank Ende was telling me, that he thinks, now he's being like a conspiracy theorist right now. He was telling me earlier, right, it's far out there. This is Jupiter, but he was thinking that Naughty Dog was doing some type of conspiracy where all this leak stuff, this was just stuff cut from the game, and they want free publicity, and so they tricked everyone into there's some type of leak to build up for the game. What do you think about that?
That sounds
insane, right? Right?
Listen, I told you it's like Jupiter, right? It's far out there, but it was fun to entertain for the moment. I thought it was. I'm not
saying I don't believe that, but it did cross my mind for a split second. I said, "Whoa, that's crazy talk, man."
You know what? I would maybe kind of believe it if the release date was something in, like, I don't know, July or August or something.
Right.
Because it's so soon.
Right.
Or maybe if they wasn't, you know, if they wasn't cutting the comments off of the PlayStation.
Yeah, that was big.
Promos for The Last of Us 2, and then they come back and made a few responses on Twitter. So that's letting you know that the leaks probably are real.
Right. So he pretty much incriminated themselves, man.
Right.
So.
But then you have this statement by Andrew Frost, which is a Naughty Dog developer, saying that don't believe what you see and don't trust them all.
I know. So that was what was
he saying not to trust.
That was what was pushing the conspiracy theory on me, man. That was
right.
Like,
so, hey,
maybe he's
crazy
right.
Man ain't so crazy. You know
what
I mean?
Right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, man.
But I just thought that made for some fun conversation. Just and Naughty Dog's always trying to throw that twist in there too, just like the build-up of The Last of Us 1, where they had a commercial where it seeed like Ellie was going to shoot Joel, and then you had this big deal where
yeah.
You remember that, right?
In the trailer, yeah.
In the trailer, yeah. I say commercial because I seen it on a commercial back then. So,
yeah.
But on the telly. But
The telly.
But I just thought that was fun to think about,
Yeah, definitely. Oh man. We were talking about yesterday. We were talking. Wouldn't it be sweet if you could play through some of the campaign co-op?
Ooh, but then who would be the second character?
Right.
Who would be?
Well,
let's just say whoever the NPC is.
Right. That's what we were saying. That, like certain parts of the game, like it made sense where, you just have that NPC that's just following you around, or you had like Bill just following you around and stuff like that. Like the NPCs in part 1 were just so all over the place. Like especially, I've been watching Enday's Grounded, and he's going through the town with Bill, and Bill's just firing off that shotgun, blowing his stealth, right?
Yeah, I thought, and it's not doing any damage or anything.
Right, he's not doing anything, but having all of them charge him all at once.
But from what I understand, the NPCs and the enemies, they're not going to be bots this time. If you, they're going to be able to locate you, call out to one another, call each other's name out,
right.
Kind of grieve for each other when one of them goes down or the dog gets killed, and they have names, as you've seen in I think the Paris.
Right.
Weak game shoulder, Ethan. They call
right.
out, and
they like
so
all
I'm
know
excited
each
to see
other, all
these
have
enemies.
names.
Right. I'm excited to see that.
Plays, listen. There's dogs in the game, right? The dogs have names and they have owners. And if the owner sees their dog get killed, they like call out to the dog and they start freaking out and getting panicky. They're like, "No, not my puppy."
And also, from what I understand, is Ellie's something with her heartbeat and her breathing is going to be some type of
giveaway.
It's going to give away, and you have to calm her down.
I've got a good question about Ellie. In the trailer, why is she wearing a gas mask?
I think she's hiding. She's hiding her immunity
from Dina.
From everyone.
Oh.
And you'll find this out.
Right.
But the thing is, why would she hide it from Dina if they're so close?
Well, they must not be close as we thought.
I mean, that's a big deal, man. That's huge for her to be immune. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
that's definitely downplayed.
That could be bigger than her relationship with Adina.
Right.
Because the thing is, if she gets bit in front of someone that doesn't know she has that immunity, it becomes a massive oh, perhaps she's infected. We have to kill her or something like that.
Right.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, because she would have to go into the whole thing of trying to explain that away, and you've seen how that went with Joel and Tess the first time, and then with David trying to explain,
David, what a nutcase, man.
Yeah.
Even with Bill, if Ellie didn't actually attack him with the pole or whatever, they were like, "Oh, sir, let me search you for bites and stuff."
Oh yeah, yep, that's a good eye. Good eye. Do you think Bill will be in part 2, Plays?
I don't know. I kind of want him to be. I want to see what happens with him.
Did you see that trailer? The last trailer they released where it's got Tommy in there and he's saying, "You don't know how large this group is. You don't know how armed."
Yeah.
Well, when it's cutting through them scenes real fast, there's one particular area that looks like Bill's town. It looks like the scene where Joel and Ellie come in and Joel gets flung upside down. That tall building with the glass windows.
I wouldn't mind that.
It looks real similar to Bill's town, but I'm not sure where Bill's town was exactly. What part of?
Oh, but the thing is, look how far away they are from Bill's town now. By the end of Last of Us, so far.
Well, Bill's town was somewhere outside of Boston, right?
Yeah, just like a few 50 miles or something. What did they say?
Right. It had to have been close to Boston because they were smuggling, and then you come across Bill's note when they were inside the subway station, which wasn't far from the beginning of the game.
And remember, he went to Bill to get a car because they were going so far away.
Exactly. So you know, we don't know if she's going to travel back that far or not.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's even a lot of unanswered questions about Bill because Joel comes there like, oh, you owe me favors, big favors,
Right.
and they're like, and I remember Bill's like, oh, those favors aren't worth that much, and then Joel's like, yeah, they are worth that much. I want to know what those favors are.
Maybe Bill and Joel ran together, some type of group.
Maybe. Because I always wonder, like, because Bill legit says, oh, is getting that battery for you worth it? Like, is it worth that much? And he's like, yeah, it is. It's that big. And then Bill agrees as well.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I
and-
don't want
and do we need
I
to-
want this. I
Go
want
ahead.
this game to be. I want this game to be like. I don't want to see a part 3 now.
You
I
don't?
think they need to.
Really?
Yeah, I think 2 is where they should end it. I
They
feel like
might
3
end
would
it.
be a bit
They might
overkill.
have to end it over 2 now.
Yeah, but I feel like 3 games would be a bit overkill.
Yeah. What was your opinion on like Uncharted doing like four games? You think that was drawn out or deserving?
I feel like I like the ending. I feel like I liked how they ended Uncharted.
Right.
And
Right.
I didn't
I like the
mind,
ending
like,
too.
I didn't mind like all the games because I feel like they worked. They just worked.
Okay.
I don't feel like it. I don't
Yeah.
feel like it would be.
There
the
was
same.
there was a lot of story for Nathan Drake to be told, so I see what you're saying. The only thing I didn't like is how they just they sprung his brother on us like out of nowhere all the way down the series.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
besides that, like including like the rest of the stuff where they're married and have the daughter at the end, like they have the beach home, like that was all awesome to me at the end.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a
Yeah.
lot of years later.
Oh yeah, long way down the timeline. But
I just ended, and now it's ended.
right, you know that's like a good decade worth of Naughty Dog games right there. I'm thinking we'll probably see the same thing out of the Last of Us series. You know, just we went from 2013 to a release in 2020. When's good? The next good release going to be, you know, like 2027.
You know, but with the PlayStation 5, you know, it's hard to see them not doing something else. You know, and it could be the Joel and Tommy deal.
Yeah, like we said earlier with the Lost Legacy type deal. I don't know. I feel like the story might not be enough for me, man. Like there's just so many things left unanswered.
Yeah, well, we got to
But-
play part 2
Right.
and see what they touch on.
Right.
I just hope the ending of part 2 is good, man.
Yes, sir.
Even if it starts
Yes,
off a little
sir.
slow, I'm alright with a good ending.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see how this is going to be a bad game. I mean, this is, you know, there's a lot of drama going on, but at the same time, man, this is Naughty Dog, man, and people seem to forget that.
Yeah, that's true. Naughty Dog know how to make a game.
Naughty
know.
Dog,
For sure.
and man, I hope it comes back and just big finger to everybody that's talking down on this game, man. I'm a little biased towards Last of Us and Naughty Dog. I'm a huge Naughty Dog and Last of Us fan. I just hope it works, man.
Fanboy.
Fanboy, boy.
Hey, Plays,
That's a
you
lot.
thinking you're gonna go with the deluxe edition or just a regular base game? What are you thinking? you think-
I'm probably only gonna get the normal.
Yeah, that's what I put my order in for. Nday was saying that he wants the full package. He wants
you know,
everything.
fair enough.
I want the art, and I think the soundtracks on there. So I want to be able to look and listen to all that. So,
Do you know what all it comes with?
I know it comes with some avatars.
It
And-
comes with like the PS4 themes, right? Is
Right,
that
and I
it?
believe it. Yeah, and I believe it comes with a pistol perk, maybe a pistol or rifle upgrade, and then it comes with the soundtrack and then the art, the artwork.
Here's a random question. Do you think Joe will have the same exact bag that he did in the first game?
Man, that thing was raggedy, man. I hope not.
Oh,
But I
man.
thought about that too.
I always thought just one day the it's just gonna snap the strap. It's just gonna one day it's just gonna fall and it's gonna be
Right.
done.
Oh,
know, in,
this is something we were talking about. Is Ellie still not going to be able to swim?
I know because remember in the first game Joe's like, I'll teach you how to swim, play guitar, and he taught her how to play guitar. So I'm guessing he taught her how to swim.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that lets me. I'm wondering what some of these puzzles would be. You know, some of the puzzles involved pallets, ladders. You know, Naughty Dog is good at putting these puzzles in there. So.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
as long as
Oh
they're
my
not- yeah.
gosh, puzzles. I hope those things
And the
stay
way they
away
done
though.
it,
Puzzles.
And the way they done it in the first one, they wasn't too complicated. So it ain't like you was searching for a long time. You could do a little search, kind of figure it out, and then just keep the game flowing. So I thought they did great with the puzzles on the first one. Wasn't too complicated.
How would you are you gonna compare this game to, like, say for example this is like the end of the Last of Us series? Are you gonna compare this game to how Uncharted ending, like the endings? Are you gonna compare like how good they were and stuff?
Yes. Like you gotta compare apples to apples. Like I'm not gonna compare a game that's developed by two different people, two different like kind of genres. Like, okay, I understand this is like post-apocalyptic and Uncharted really isn't, but I want to see if one franchise can outdo the other. Personally.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Uncharted, it gained so much notoriety. But I'm thinking Last of Us, you know, is going to pass it up.
They came a long way from that first Uncharted to the last
Definitely.
one.
I mean,
I had so much fun playing that first one.
The first one, wasn't that like a base title on the PlayStation 3 back in the day? It was pretty, it came out early.
Right, yeah.
But
Yeah,
that was
they did
such a
come out
fun game. I don't know if
that first one, man. I had a blast playing that.
Plays. I don't know if did you play through that one?
I don't think I played the first. I played the second, third.
Right.
fourth
The
one.
second one was incredible. That's my favorite one out of the series.
Yeah,
Like, there's so many cinematic scenes and just like the fight with Lazarevich. Oh my God, I still remember that fight. Like, oh man, that bald man is so mad. Like, and he has that shotgun. Oh my God.
That brings me to ask you guys a question on what do you feel about plays? What do you think about the boss fights? That's going to be these random boss fights, not necessarily in map fights, but there could be boss fights as you're going through these maps. In other words, when Ellie opens up a door, there's a stalker or a clicker there, and then a boss fight indoors. Instead of just spamming X or square.
I want to see something like, you know, with the clickers and stuff and the bloaters. I want to see gruesome. I want to see blood.
You want to see gore, huh?
Yeah, I want to see gore.
Did you see the footage that Naughty Dog released where Ellie come inside that garage and there was a clicker in there? I believe it was a clicker, and then it's throwing her over the table and she's dodging, and you're controlling her in this boss fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looks exciting, man. That looks like that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I
In
think
the first game, I used to like the little things that they did, like you can smash your like a person's head against a wall and it would just spill out all over and stuff. That used to look so sick.
Yeah. The sickest one to me is when they first get into Pittsburgh on the ambush, and where Joel runs over there, the guy slaps Ellie. He runs over there, kicks him in the head, grabs his head, and smashes on the table. Blood shoots out. The bricks break. That was an intense scene, man. That was one of the best scenes in the game, in my opinion.
You know what? I felt when what's his name, Joel, is nearly getting his head hit onto the glass. You know, just as
that's exactly what I was gonna bring up. When they're in like a kind of quickie mart and they break through the glass on like a freezer or something, and oh God, that is brutal. He's like,
I actually felt it. When it hit his neck, I felt it.
He slit his throat on a piece of big jagged glass, man. It makes you cringe, man. It's just like, oh, that's too close for comfort, boy.
Did you guys look at the hunters as the bad guys, or did you look at them as just survivors, just trying to survive? Yeah,
definitely survivors.
Right. I think of it as if this wasn't happening, they probably have a family. They might have they'd be living life.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I see it. But desperate times call for desperate measures.
What I thought was a good touch too is if you would stealth up to, let's say, just a little small group of the hunters, you could hear them talking to each other. And there was one in particular part where they were talking about how they came across another survivor and he shot her, and he said, "Man, you should have brought her into the group." And he's like, "No, this girl would have shot us in our sleep." I thought that was a good touch on it, just to kind of let you know that these guys aren't just bad guys; they're out here trying to survive too. I thought they did a good job with that.
Yeah, I definitely like the hunters more than the fireflies, personally.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why. At the end, even though Joel was kind of in the wrong when he took Ellie, I just really hated Marlene when she said, if he tries anything, shoot him. I was like, bro, she just bought this girl to the fireflies after so long.
Right.
Right.
And you just, at that moment, I was like, Joel, kill her. I don't care.
Right.
Kill her.
LegitPlayz, what's your thought on Anna? As far as do you think that Anna's Ellie's mom.
Ellie's mom.
Do you think we'll see any? You think we'll go back in The Last of Us Part 2 and it'll show us more of Anna, more of Anna's past, or do you think Anna's over? She's dead. It's gone. It's through with.
Well, I think she's dead because in Marlene's notes.
Marlene's notes. We talked about it in her.
Right.
She did an audio clip.
So what did you think about when everybody was saying this mystery woman was Anna?
I was a bit like, I doubt it, unless it's like a flashback or something. But nah. But
right.
I guess we'll see. Maybe she'll be in the game, but I doubt. I think she'll be a flashback. She won't be like a character in.
Do you mind doing that? Do you mind playing like flashbacks, or do you feel like if we should have known this, we should have already played it, and we shouldn't just be flashing back? What do you think about that?
If the flashbacks are done well and they're not like overkill, there's not like 100,000, like in the Uncharted, they have the occasional flashback that kind of ties you, like that. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, like that was nice when they were in that lady's house. They were, him and his brother.
Yeah.
What me and Spray was talking about. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't.
What me and Spray was talking about yesterday was Left Behind, and Spray seemed to think that could have easily just been in the game instead of a DLC, and with the flashbacks and everything, and showing Ellie how showing how Ellie got bit, and then showing her relationship with Riley. In other words.
I disagree with that.
You think it had been shown that way?
Yeah, I think a DLC, because I feel like the game wasn't why Ellie got bit and stuff. It was just kind of a side thing. It was like, oh, this is how she got bit. This is her past relationship. The actual game was about them two, how they built that relationship, and him taking her to the Fireflies. That's my opinion.
Yeah. See, Last of Us Part 1 was a lot more linear. Like, you couldn't really make decisions. Like, you're just one set path you go on. But from what I've been hearing, without any spoilers, it seems like you might have a little bit more free will, or as a perception. But at the end, you'll still end up at the same spot.
Right, so it's a little bit more open world. Not necessarily open world, but wider.
Right.
Like Haley Gross said, you can take multiple paths and still lead to the linear end of it.
But do you really think it's worth the stress of a linear an ending which is just going to be the same?
Yeah, I do.
You think?
I think it adds to replayability.
There you go. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
replayability. That's true. You could take different, you say, hey, I went straight this playthrough, Next playthrough, I'll do everything right, and next playthrough, I'll do everything left.
Right.
And they said that you'll encounter different, each whatever path. She said you could play this game several times and never see the same thing twice.
Yo, if it was really like that, think about how much content we'd be able to make, man.
Well, they say this game's massive, man.
Yeah, I just...
How much hours did they say?
They said 40 hours. Isn't that what you say? 40 hours? I thought you told me
20,
40
30,
hours.
40. Yeah, probably around 30 hours if I had to guess.
Dude, 30, 40 hours, that's like a Red Dead story mode, bro.
Right.
Like,
and,
that's
probably
going on forever.
Red Dead was years.
Yeah, Red Dead was massive, man. They did such a great job of that game, building Arthur up and everything.
So huge. So if it's anything like that, I think I'll be happy regardless of the story. Like, if I have something to play that is a good amount of time, it has replayability, it has, I feel like I have like a free will almost in the game where I can make the decisions. But the caveat to that is, I do hope that the characters that I care about, are successful and they're still alive, So.
Right. So, Plays, what have you been doing to avoid these spoilers?
I just haven't been searching up The Last of Us.
He put his head in the sand, right?
Yeah. That's the only way to do it, huh?
That's the only way.
Like, usually every time I used to play The Last of Us, I always used to, so if I played Last of Us 1 on PS4, I would always be like, let me search up Last of Us 2. I'll stop myself from playing Last of Us 1. I haven't got it installed right now. I haven't got it installed. I'm like, I can't. I'm just gonna wait for the second game. Like, I bought so many games to kind of get my mind. I bought Dishonored.
We've been trying to do the same thing. We started just a couple weeks ago on DayZ. We've never played it before. Man, I'll tell you, incredible learning curve. I don't know if you've ever played it, but
that's a lot to soak in.
It is a monster.
If you're looking for a game, I feel like Dishonored 1 is really good. And you know how you were talking about the multiple endings and stuff?
What was it?
Not multiple endings, but like, it's called Dishonored.
Dishonored.
Yeah,
is that the Thief game?
It's like Thief, but it's way better. Like 10 times the game.
Okay.
It's like your choices actually matter because they give different endings and everything, and it's really good.
Sweet.
And all that.
It's on PS4 in store.
It's first person.
Yeah, Ende has a big problem with first person games, but I will take that. I don't know. You explain yourself, because I don't understand it.
I don't like them. I just can't get into them, man. I don't know, man.
I feel like it's like the most realistic type game, and this man, he's like.
I understand why people like them, but I don't like them.
He's an older cat. He's used to playing on the Sega Genesis, man, where you could see all the stuff. You're always third person, bro.
Maybe because my first game was Mario Brothers, so,
Bruh,
that was a third person.
No, I think you're lying right now. Your first game was Pong, son.
I just can't get. I did play Resistance: Fall of Man, and I think that was my last first-person game, and that came with my PS3. Only game I had, I think, at the time.
I actually don't even remember my first game.
My first game, Lego Star Wars, the first one ever.
I think my one was GTA San Andreas.
Oh my gosh, we went off on that game the other day.
That was a hit.
That was Memory City, and I was telling you how I bought it again on the store because it's like $5. Like, how could I not, right?
I bought the whole trilogy for like 10 quid or something. So
yeah. Well, when I bought it, it wasn't. They had like a reduced price on it, so I just was like, I'll just get this one. I gotta play through Vice City again. Just so many memories,
I only played through Vice City recently because I could never finish the game because it was too hard.
Dude, you remember when games actually used to be difficult and you were like stuck on levels, and once you die, you gotta restart it all. Just so bummed out, like
Blaze, have you ran through grounded mode on Last of Us?
Grounded mode now.
Yeah.
Not really.
There's a challenge.
What's it called? Have you what was in Last of Us? If you had to pick any part that you wouldn't want to replay because it was either too scary or too hard, what would it be?
Hanging upside down.
Oh, I do not like that part on Grounded, man.
No.
You know.
Oh.
You know what?
Oh, and the other part, I don't mean to cut you off, please. Just go right after me. Is on Grounded, you know, the hardest difficulty. It's that sniper part. I really do not like it when you're pinned down with Henry and Sam. Right after you come up.
Is it really that hard?
Dude, it's. Oh my god. That sniper, he has like. Once you peek your head out, like once you move, he is right on you. And you know,
fully upgraded.
It nicks you and you're dead. Like it could hit your arm sleeve, you're dead. Like
what was your part?
Like the guy is on aimbot steroids. I'm being serious. Check it out on YouTube. I bet people are really frustrated with that on Grounded. I know. And he says he has this real good strategy where he can sneak around real quick. But my first playthrough on it was awful, dude. Awful.
My part would be you know when Joel falls. You know when Joel falls down that elevator and he goes all the way down.
Oh.
That part scares me.
Yeah.
Basically, the first time I ever did it, I was so scared because I kept dying and my heart was racing.
Right.
Now that I know how to do it, now that every time that part comes in the game, I'm like, okay, I know what to do. I need to get the key card, and then I got to do this, and I got to run there because I don't like staying down there. It's too scary.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a little confusing? You went up top. It was a little like a little maze up there. It was kind of at first. It was a little confusing. Yeah.
Yeah. The first time you play, it's a maze, and that's what. And like, clickers already see you. It's not like you have a choice. The clickers already know where you are.
As soon as you grab that key card, they know where you're at.
Yeah.
It just alerts
That's why I always grab that key. I always grab that key card first before I do the generator.
You have to.
My strategy is on that for Grounded is grab the key card, fire up the generator.
Is that what you do?
And then run all the way through, cut through the laundry room, and then you can by then the bloater's out, and you can just run right on in, and get to an animation, and they can't touch you. You just go right on.
I remember. The first time I was playing it, I died a couple of times, but I realized what to do. So I just made a run for it, and then the bloater popped out, and I got so scared. He just smacked, like he just killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the first time I died, I just put some bombs right in front of the door. He came out. That took care of him.
That's a good strategy.
That's smart.
And,
how do you kill bloaters? How do you guys approach killing bloaters?
Mollies and bombs.
Yeah.
I believe that's the best way. Unless you got the flamethrower later in the game that just destroys them.
Oh yeah. It's fun.
So
it feels like revenge.
Bloaters? 3 bloaters in the first one, huh? At the high school, the university, and last part of Pittsburgh, right? Just 3?
Yeah.
No, there's a lot more bloaters in that little underground when you're like underneath a highway. Where's that exactly?
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? There's like 5 or 6 of them in there.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
You usually sneak past those guys.
I sneak past every one of them on Grounded too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out. And earlier on, I was getting pretty good at being stealthy, and I figured out I could sneak through the Firefly Hospital too. I could sneak around all them guys because they run a route. Just watch their route, and then you'll figure out when you can go and when it's time to sit still. So,
man, I think this has been a successful night, man.
I do too. Plays, we enjoyed having you, man.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off? Is anything else we want to rehash over?
Nah, man, it's been nice, man. Hopefully we can be next time as well.
Yeah, we could come back on, start talking things over again, man. I mean, there's new information every single day, so we like to stay up to date.
We'd like to hear more of your thoughts, man. It's been a fun conversation.
Yeah. It has indeed.
All right, man. we're gonna sign off tonight. Subscribe to everyone. So I'll put in a link in for Play's channel. If you send it over to me, I'll put a link in for End Day, and of course subscribe right here. It's the last spray. Deuces. Let's go.